वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. So we are studying in the series of concepts which are discussed in Bhagavad Gita. The concept which we are discussing is karma or karma yoga, which is third chapter. Among the commentaries of Bhagavad Gita, there is so much told about karma. So much so that some of the commentators said that the very purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to say about karma. This was viewed among the scholars. This was emphasized more and written in detail by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, that the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to enjoin or to make understand the concept of karma. Again, those who are philosophical come Jnanamargis, they say no, the purpose of karma is, karma cannot give you knowledge. Very interesting. There are many things which apparently very convincing, immediately convincing. And you will find these people are immensely practical and intelligent, logical, but it doesn't have very firm foundation in argument. For example, how nice it looks if somebody says, I simply don't believe everything until I see myself, until I experience myself. Just because somebody says, do you think I should accept? Then you say, wow, the person is so intelligent. I give him a cup of poison. Please drink. No, I will not drink. Why? No, if I take poison, I will die. How you know? Have you experienced? No. Somebody's experience, you consider it as a valid experience of yourself. You do not need to experience everything. Others' experience, you accept. If a simple experience of taking poison and dying, if this experience of others can be taken as a valid experience, why you have so much hesitation in taking experience of the rishis? So many times we find materialistic person is not person who is enjoying the world. No. Materialistic person is who considers materials of the world as the only truth. Sri Krishna will say sometimes in Bhagavad Gita, Nanyal asti iti vadina. Nothing else exists than what I see around me. These are materialistic people. I remember we have many Swamis are there, of course. Those who are originally from Western countries, they are born as a Westerner, not Indian born in Western world, but the Americans or Europeans or whatever, French or whatever. So one day he told me, you know, in India it is very common for people to give lecture and say the Western ideas and Westernization and Western education, everything blame the West. So he said, yeah, Western life is a materialistic life, and you people have no idea what material life is all about. I said, no, we also have many rich people who enjoy life. I said, no, it's not a question of that. You want to enjoy, you have scope of enjoying, you have money, so you enjoy. That's not the concept. Think you don't have spirituality at all. And that's why you are engaged in material life. That is materialism. We also may have people, not the weaker. Materialism is not Eastern or Western. It's a type of mind. We use many things. Specs we use, clothes we use, shoes we use. Everybody uses. Everybody uses it. When, because of whatever reason, you have 50, 60, 100 pairs of shoes, you have 200, 500 sets of clothes. The clothes and shoes, you are supposed to use it. When the shoes and clothes start consuming your life, you look after it. Spend every day a few hours in maintaining your shoes and clothes. That is stupidity. This thinking is required, not that you subscribe to this or that, but we should be open-minded to think. I remember when in small incident, in India, or here also you will find, because of rain there is a small pool of water, thin little water. So if it is just little, maybe 1 centimeter, it's okay, you can just walk. So what if the water is little deep, maybe 2-3 inches water? And there is no way to go from the side, you have to cross it. You will find. This is more in India maybe, I do not know. People remove the shoes, take the shoes in hand and cross the water because shoes will be spoiled. And this happened in front of me, somebody doing it. And I was very young, so I started thinking, shoes are supposed to protect your feet. When the real time of protecting your feet came, you protected shoes than your feet. It doesn't mean anything. Your feet are to be protected, no? That's why you purchase the shoes. Now you are engaged in protecting the shoes, even sacrificing your own feet. This concept is very old in our scriptures. When the hierarchy is what? You are there, then your senses, your eyes, your hands, feet, etc. Then the sense objects. So who should be higher? Sense objects are meant for the senses, senses are meant for you. Senses guide what you should do, and the sense object will guide what senses should do. It is something like you have a helper in your house, she is supposed to do. Now helper is very good, you are very kind to her. So I say, Madam, my son is 10 years old. In our village there is no school. Can I bring him here? And you say, I have a big house, doesn't matter. Son also will stay somewhere. Now because of the son of your helper, you started changing your routine. Because he has to do this, because he has to do this, because he has to do this. It is something like that. So there is a sloka, I don't remember the sloka, but the Rishi writes very beautifully and says, look at our bad luck, bad fortune, bad condition, that I became the servant of my servant's servant. I was the owner. I had a servant. My servant also, somebody is a servant in his house. I became servant of my servant. Look at my condition. What happens in reality? This happens. Can you take it? No. But in practical life it does happen. You started protecting the shoes, sacrificing your own feet. Because of that you may fall ill, because of that could be a cut in your leg. You are ready to tolerate that, but my shoes should not be spoiled. This is materialism, this is materialistic. Everybody wear clothes, but you keep so many clothes that you spend time to maintain the clothes. This is stupidity. Clothes are meant for me, not I meant for clothes. This thought, everybody should think. There is a book called Vairagya Satakam. Get it from anywhere or go to online and read it. Very interesting slokas. Don't be afraid that it is Vairagya Satakam, 100 slokas about Vairagya. It gives the idea. And Bhartrihari, the king Bhartrihari, he writes about this and says, we are hypnotized. What we say? No, I spend time. All of us say, I spent 1 hour time in the mission. You don't spend time. Time is as it is. Whatever you do, 1 hour will go. Can you stop the watch? Tick, 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 it's moving. Time cannot be stopped. You are within that time. Time doesn't pass, you pass. We all are taking food for what? For our nourishment. Is there anybody who is nourished by the food? So all of us are nourished by the food. Every morsel of food has pushed you towards the old age. It could not stop you from getting old. And what is old age? What is the difference between young age and old age? Your body becomes old. Why it became old? What you are thinking that I am consuming food, that food is consuming you and making you old. Beautiful shloka is there. Bhogana bhukta vayameva bhukta. We are not enjoying the thing. Things are enjoying me. If I am 60 years old, last 60 years I am taking food, and that continuous taking food for 60 years has pushed me to this age. Correct? Then how do you say that I am nourished by food? No, food has eaten me up. I was a young man. The food made me old. Bhogana bhukta, we don't enjoy. The things enjoys my body. Kalo na yata, vayameva yata. Time doesn't pass, we pass. Time remains infinite. We came and go. Time remains the same. Like this, there are many examples. So, Bhagavad Gita is studying from many aspects. Because Krishna is telling this whole Gita to Krishna, to Arjuna, Krishna is telling to Arjuna right in the middle of a battlefield. So he has to tell him the effect, the purpose, the motive, the reason, the method, the philosophy of karma. Karma is something which all are compulsory subject. Nobody is free from karma. Everybody must do karma. Karma doesn't mean a job. Karma is an action which you do to fulfill your desire. Could be good, could be not good. But we do karma because of the dearth in our mind, because dearth in ourself. I want this. If I have it, I will be more complete, I will be more happy. Or I do action to remove something from my life so that I will be free. Eventually goal is the same. Whether you take it or renounce it, goal is the same, you are going to be happy. Correct? You eat food because you feel happy. You do fasting also to be happy eventually. You gain weight, be happy. You lose weight also, you will be happy. It is not gaining, losing or eating or not eating. It is the desire. So now, nobody can perform any action without desire. The very reason of action is desire. And the reason for desire is ignorance. I am ignorant about myself. That's why I consider my body as myself. And because of that, whatever bodily requirements are there to fulfill, that became a natural and normal behavior. We never think behavior of the people who were centered in the self itself. We cannot understand their behavior. When everybody is ignorant, the ignorance becomes a normal state of mind because everybody is ignorance. So, is there any state where one can be free from action? In Vedanta, the goal, the realization, there is one other name of realization, is called Naishkarmya Siddhi, complete freedom from action. How you have complete freedom from action? Complete freedom from desire, then only you can be completely free from action. And if you want to be completely free from desire, you should be full of knowledge. That's why knowledge is important. If you read Karma Yoga of Swamiji, in the very beginning he says, pleasure cannot be the goal of life. The goal of life is knowledge. You enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. It gives a kind of knowledge at the end, whether you are happy or you are frustrated. You are happy or you are unhappy. Anything of this world, the very question of enjoyment comes, enjoyment with the things which you are not, something other than you. So when you consume it, or you take it, or have it, you say, I am enjoying. We have discussed it earlier. Human being has this limitation. Now this is the light, I can look at the light, no problem. Why? It is within the range of my eyes. But you put a high power light, you cannot look at it. Your eyes are not ready to. If too much light is there, I have to look you like this. Why? Too much light, I can't take it. Again light get reduced, almost dark, also I cannot see. Too much light and absence of light, both are same to us. In every field it is same. You are able to hear because there is a minimum and maximum sound. More than that you cannot hear. Less than that you cannot hear. Same thing goes to air pressure. Go to 18,000 feet high, you can't breathe. Why? Because you are habituated to live under this air pressure. When these astronauts will go to the moon or other outside in space, why they wear different kind of dress? There is no air pressure outside. What happens to the body? Body is habituated to be in this pressure. If like this only, with this cloth, if somebody goes out of this space, his body will disintegrate and will be broken into pieces. Why? Inside pressure is there, no? What you call blood pressure. Inside pressure and outside pressure we are habituated. If outside pressure suddenly goes, inside pressure will break your body. These examples are common. People may not have thought about it, but it is common. Now you see my face. There is any deformation in my face? No. There was a time when my face was distorted, really, for 2-3 months. When there is terrible cold, and why you see the face as it is? There is a pull from both the sides. When you smile, there is a pull from both the sides. What happens if this muscle becomes weak and this remains the same? So when I will smile, this go like this, because this has the pull, this doesn't have the pull. Now both the side pull is the same. That's why the face is normal. In my case, this muscle became weak. So my face become sided, one-sided. It's called facial paralysis. Temporary facial paralysis. People become frightened. That happened overnight. Morning I went to the washroom to clean my teeth. I'm not able to put water into my mouth or do anything. Water is coming out from here. So I said, something is wrong. Look in the mirror. My face is little like this. And water is coming out from here by itself. I was hardly 34, 35 years old. I said, what nonsense. But when I eat something, I'm able to eat. There are many things which you do every day, thousands of times, but you are not aware. You can eat food, but you cannot drink if your lips are not completely airtight. Just like when you take some liquid with straw, and if the straw has a hole, liquid doesn't come because the air passes. So in my case it started happening. I have to close my mouth, then only I can clean my teeth or clean my mouth inside. So we don't, Swamis are like that, we don't immediately get perplexed or what happened to me, all this. I said, what's the way? Oh, acha, okay. So I immediately, within 2 minutes, I found a way. And I continued with my process with that. I hold my mouth like this. Because this was weaker, I cannot seal my lips. Then of course went to doctor and treatment started and all that. What I was telling was, we take for granted many things. That's why this concept doesn't come until you undergo. Swami Vivekananda gives this example. You know, in America, I will like to see someday if I can, in the forest of Amazon or one part of America, I do not know where, there are oak trees which are very tall, very, very tall. Maybe 300 feet, 400 feet, that kind of height. And what they found was very interesting. This all I have read in National Geographic sometime. So you climb that tree, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet. And the tree is 300 feet. They find a particular type of birds up to one level. When they go 100 feet plus, those birds do not go there. There is another type of birds stay there. Then they go to 200 feet. Third type of birds, 300 feet, another type of birds. The birds who stay on a lower level cannot sustain on a higher level. Go down. In the ocean, a lot of aquatic animals are there, fish, etc. In first few hundred feet, you will find the same, all these dolphin and others, what you see, they cannot go and stay at the bottom of the ocean. Why? Water pressure they cannot tolerate. So they cannot go more than certain depth. There is a deepest part of ocean, Pacific and all the oceans are deep definitely. There is one place which is much deeper than even that. It's called Trench, Mariana Trench. In the trench, it is much deeper inside. Those aquatic animals will stay in that trench inside, cannot come to the surface. If they come to the surface, it will be broken to pieces. Just like if you and me go to the space without this astronaut clothes. We are habituated with certain kind of pressure, internal and external. When internal pressure increase, you take medicine to reduce that blood pressure. Same thing happens with external pressure. You cannot breathe when you go to Mount Everest. You have to take oxygen with you. Because your system is not suitable for that thin or less oxygen, etc. Why this example comes? Very interesting. I may not have vocabulary to express, but which I come across. We have taken this as reality, no philosophy, just reality. You people are sitting in front of me, I am sitting here, I am speaking, you are hearing. Is there any imagination here? No. It is fact. What if you come to know that this is imagination? You can think of this as imagination, provided you have a place or you have a standpoint or you have a state of mind which is static, not this kind of dynamic state which is full of action, speaking, hearing, sitting, standing, etc. That's why I'm telling, I don't have vocabulary to express this. I saw one video recently that made me thinking so much. Two objects which are in a static, bear with me, two objects which are static, you don't see anything. A small plate full of liquid, a little thick kind of liquid, whatever. And there is another object, is like a ring, round, like a bangle, that ring. You can see the ring, you can see the liquid in the plate. You don't see anything else because both are static. Now they left that bangle or the ring inside the water. So water will splash in a particular shape. That shape depends on the shape of the bangle, shape of the ring. It can be like a small round plate with some holes or design. Accordingly, the liquid will come out. And when I saw that ring fell in the water and something is created. A very different fashion of water. And again it came down. The ring which was outside was inside the water, inside the liquid, and then both became static. This is a big science. Same static object behaves in altogether different way when the kinetic motion come into picture. This is simple logic, simple science, not a big deal about it. Because everything is in motion. everything is in motion. Every electron has a motion inside. I think every atom has motion inside. Same way every solar system has a motion. Your body has a motion inside. What is motion in our body? I am very fond of giving this example. Each of our body is like a fountain. The old cells are dying and new cells are being created. What happens? The dying cells continues. And when manufacturing or creating new cells process stops, they call it death. Till this, both the process going on is like a fountain. If I do like this, you don't see anything, but hundreds of dead cells will be collected on the surface. Put any figure, I don't know, maybe 10 billion cells are there in the body. And medical science says every 7 to 8 years, your whole body changes. And you divide into years and days and minutes and all that. You can get a figure that every minute, every second, this many dead cells are coming out of my body. And that many or little more sometimes are created in the body. So new cells are created, all cells are like fountain goes out of my body. This is a kinetic state. When you die, it becomes static. So the body completely behaves in a different way. The man doesn't behave, the body as a material starts behaving, rotting, whatever happens. Philosophers started thinking, you see this universe around you because it is in a kinetic state. As soon as it goes into a static state, maybe you call it dissolution, pralaya. Swami Vivekananda probably for the first time used the word involution. Evolution is to progress. Involution is to come inside. All your kinetic movements are involved, or involution takes place in your static. You have a huge tree, you can see that Bodhi tree in front. The whole tree is there inside one seed of one fruit. Like that there are thousands of fruits. Every fruit has maybe 100 seeds. That means what? In every fruit, in every seed inside, the whole big tree is involved. Because you take that seed and plant, the similar tree will come out. As the seed becomes, after evolution, a big tree, that means big tree, because of involution, is already present in the seed. This is the difference. Kinetic and static, same thing, but totally different appearance. In that way also, this world is Maya. It is not what you are seeing. Because of some kind of kinetic energy, some kind of movement, some kind of activity, it appears to be what we see. Otherwise it is not. So, as our vocabulary is still limited, think of the people's vocabulary 4,000, 5,000 years before. That's why they gave this concept of Maya. It is not truth. It appears to be something. That is called Maya. That which is not true, but that is an appearance. Swami Vivekananda has a lecture, see in Jnana Yoga, read it. A real and apparent man. What appears is not true. It appears to be so. Because of this movement, because of this kinetic part of it. When you go to static, Sri Ramakrishna's initial conversation, maybe something related to this, In Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita you will find this. When he says about Swamiji, Narendranath, when he sits quietly is one. When he is uncontrolled young child, he is altogether different, kinetic and static. And you will find in the boys' home, children are very hyper sometimes. It is the same child. 5 people cannot control him. Go at 10 o'clock in the night, he is sleeping. No assistance is required. It's a static state. Wow, 1 hour before he was in kinetic state, difficult to control. Same child. Why these two different behaviors? There is something added. Now something is not there. So this way, we don't think. When you think, the world starts appearing in a different way in your eyes. This is only for the short period of time. This is not real. That thought will come. Whatever you see is all temporary, or for a period of time. Why? Because of the kinetic state, it appears to be so. Otherwise it is not there. So the goal, as we say, to realize the truth. What is the truth? If I remove all this kinetic part and come down to what you really are, that is to be realized. Same actor, in different dramas on different days, he or she can play different roles, which are all imagination. But after each drama, when he comes out or she comes out, that is her real self. Just to give an example. Oh, are you the same who became king yesterday? Oh, in this drama you are a beggar. Oh, I have 2 roles. Beggar was never a king, king was never a beggar. But the same person was a king also and beggar also. These examples, why? Because our identity, our adjectives which we put on ourselves, we give so much importance to it. But actually it is not so. So here Krishna says, everybody does action. You can't live without action. Why you cannot live without action? Because you want to live. To survive, you do action. Survival also is a desire called jijivisha. Desire to live. You know, all of us will enter into one particular old age that we are not able to move in our bed and cannot turn, cannot do anything. So sometimes doctors will ask some questions to the person and will come out and say, can't save him. There is no will to live. So much suffering. There is no wish to live. And you cannot save that person if there is no will to live. But a person very desire of, everybody wants to, nobody wants to die. That's a different subject. But people full of life, somehow body is not able to work, but inside he is bubbling. So doctor says there are chances of recovery because he wants to live. Here he says, just by not doing action, you do not become Nishkarmya Siddha. I do not do any action because I am Atman. Without realizing that, I just decide not to do any work. That is not the state of Nishkarmya. Only when you realize that you are Atman, then Atman doesn't do any work. Work is possible only where there is ignorance and desires. So he says, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi na karmanam anarambhat nishkarmyam purushoshnute. Just by not doing action, person cannot be free from action. If you want to be free from action, you don't have desires. And if you want a state of mind which doesn't have desires, you must get rid of the ignorance. In a state of ignorance, one cannot be free from desires. That's why you will find how to know whether spiritually I am progressing or not. Your desires will be reduced. You cannot be free from desires, but your desires significantly reduces. That's why your activity reduces. And why your desires reduce? The things around you, the objects of five senses of knowledge, which makes the whole world, you start seeing that this is appearance, this is not real. Unless that experience comes, your desire for those objects will not reduce. If there is a phone, wow, very good phone. When you come to know that it's a dummy, only the body, inside nothing is there, then you will be completely detached with this phone, because you know that it is a dummy phone. It is not a real phone. But that stage has to come when you can differentiate between an apparent and real objects around you. Difficult, but not impossible. Actually, all of us have felt that. Nobody says there are only two groups of people, people with knowledge and people without knowledge. No, there is so many other groups are there with 10%, 5%, 20%, 30%, and we all are progressing towards that. But our eyes and ears should be open. We have to be honest, sincere, and serious about it. Then only question of progress comes. So, na karmanam anarambhat purusha nishkarmyam purushosnute. A person cannot get the state of nishkarmya, state of actionlessness. Again I am emphasizing, no action means no desire. No desire means no ignorance. Without getting rid of ignorance, you can't reduce your desires. And without reducing that, you cannot reduce your actions. We do actions because of... Do you do anything without purpose? No. Everything you do has a purpose. Whatever you do. You came here, there was a purpose. You don't come without, I don't know, just going. No, it's not just going. There is something to fulfill. That's why you go. We will go to a supermarket without a purpose. Even if your purpose is not is buying, at least for window shopping you are going, but you are going with a purpose. Some purpose. You do not do anything without purpose. There is a beautiful Sanskrit sentence. You don't need to read many philosophies, but some sentences, if you remember, are very helpful. Prayojanam anuddishya mandopi na pravartate. Even a mad person doesn't do anything without a purpose. Nobody does anything that is without any purpose. So karma has a reason called desire. Desire has a reason which is called ignorance. So ignorance, avidya, kama, karma, these are the series of, there are some sets of 3 words in Vedanta. Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti, avidya, kama, karma, jnata, jneya, jnatri. Like this there are 3 always. So, nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. Just by telling that I will not do it, you do not Disconnect yourself with that. In the home this happens. No, I will not eat today. Out of anger. It generally happens with anybody. There is no. So the other person, if husband says that wife understand, wife says husband understand. After 1 hour he definitely will take. But there is something, no, I will not take. Just by telling I will not take food doesn't mean your hunger is not there. Maybe when everybody sleeps, he sneaks into kitchen and eats something. What he says is this. In reality also, just by taking sannyasa doesn't mean this. Taking sannyasa means to withdraw yourself from something. Nacha sannyasanaadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. You cannot achieve success in spiritual life just by renouncing something. If that is possible, everybody can renounce. Renouncing is not a problem. Renouncing from the mind is a problem. Renouncing is not a problem. What's the big deal? We left our home. Many children, your children are studying somewhere in foreign country. He doesn't stay with you. Do you think he renounced the home? No. Because physically he has renounced. He is not staying with you. He is staying somewhere else. Mentally, he is part of the family. So if a sannyasa is not inside your mind, that is not sannyasa. Then he says, but what about somebody renounces? If he renounces, then the results will be the same. No. So he says, Karmendriyani Sanyamya, I will not do. Become quiet. I will not do. But mind continuously working on that. So Karmendriyani, external senses are controlled, not doing anything. You aste manasasmaran, but in the mind continuously thinks of those objects. Then what happens? Indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyachara uchyate. This is a hypocrisy. What is hypocrisy? Mentally I have not renounced. Externally I have renounced. That's a hypocritical life. If somebody says, no, I don't take sweets. Okay, good. So you say, he has renounced all sweets. Then he gets up in night 12 o'clock when everybody fastly open the fridge and takes sweet. What you will consider that person? Whole day he is showing to people that he doesn't take sweet. But he takes. This is called hypocrisy. In spiritual life, if this hypocrisy is there, you can continue the show, but you cannot progress. So these are one aspect that we have to talk later. Today is Ekadashi, and I have to do Ekadashi Puja. The Temple Swamiji is not there. So we'll take up next time again. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.